that girl who would like to ask you today, did you create those cactuses? Right? Because sometimes we take it so personally when those cactuses are prickling us because we are feeling their prickles and their reactions and their hurt. But if we're not responsible for them to originally have those hurts, why are we taking it so personally? We know that they are reacting. We know that they're hurt. We know that they're projecting and protecting themselves because they're so fragile with the lack of their own inner work, that they are just doing the best that they can in the opportunities that they can with us. And it was just really prevalent in a session that I just recently did. And I just thought this is a really good way to explore this more, right? So a typical husband and wife scenario, and the wife felt really resentful from the husband because he wasn't loving her the way that she needed to be loved, and he didn't have the skill sets of lovey-dovey stuff, and the way that he showed love was very different from what she was seeking, right? So when we did connect into his subconscious and try to figure out what's going on for there, does he even love the wife, for example, right? So the subconscious said, oh, he is so hurt because he wasn't given and nurtured the love that he needed as a child. And so he has no true reference point to how to give love because he never was sort of received it himself. So he hadn't really done any inner work, hadn't really loved himself, and therefore couldn't project out the love that he sort of felt like he needed to be shown it to be able to then repeat it. And now we know that that doesn't, we can learn how to ride a bike without seeing someone ride a bike, right? So it's just where the husband was at. And so we just have to respect that what he was able to do, even though it hurt the wife, it wasn't about hurting the wife. That was never his intention or integrity. It was just struggling to be able to figure out and to notice for himself that he didn't really have even love for himself. And he hadn't healed from the childhood. And so when we have to remember that, these prickly cactuses are really still children, or these narcissists are still really broken children, shall we say, if we're not the person that broke them or gave them lack of love or something, then stop taking it personally like they're trying to attack us, because we didn't actually do that to them. So, and they know that. So they're not actually trying to hurt us with prickles because we've done something wrong. They're just hurting because they're hurting. And when we stop taking things so personally, so when the wife saw and learned from in that session that the husband did truly love her, but he just was lacking love himself because of the childhood, it suddenly wasn't so personal for the wife. She suddenly realized that he's doing the best he can with the lack of love for himself because of the lack he was showing from his parents. And so it becomes instantly quite not a personal attack when he's still trying to figure out what love means and how we express love, how we feel love, how we share love. We have to really go back to their own childhood. And yes, I know it's they've grown up now, you don't need to be behaving like that. You can get your own help as an adult, right? Sometimes we're so busy just living and doing our jobs and doing our routines that we actually forget to check our behaviors and actually try to work on some of our weaknesses. And when love doesn't seem like a great currency, most men would scoff at the idea of, paying your bills with love. Right? I guess there are some professions that can pay your bills with loving others, but it's look how blushed I've become. I'm not a prude much. Anyway, so there's that. So just check ourselves. Are we still feeling like these prickly cactuses are trying to hurt us, when really they're hurting themselves? They hurt themselves, and they're trying to react, or even if they're not, the the wife felt hurt by the husband because he couldn't love her. So she was constantly seeking that out, right? So what should we be telling the wife? Oh yeah, leave him, he's an asshole. Or yeah, love yourself. Start loving yourself first. Stop seeking love from someone who hasn't ever really been nurtured and marinated in that, and actually find your own love currency, and actually start being responsible for our own needs and desires and wants. But it seems like just this interesting scenario just made me sort of think, gosh, yes, we often feel so frustrated with those cactuses, and as if they're angry at us, as if they are holding love just to despite us. They're not doing it right just to piss us off, right? And I mean, I saw this classic example with my twins this morning. Big drama. They've got 2 lunch boxes that are identical, right? And what hideous parents. I know, horrible. We bought the same lunchbox. What were we thinking? And Ivy gave Olive accidentally the wrong lunchbox because they had a special sandwich or something really like intensive, and there was a mix-up in the lunchboxes, right? A mistake by Ivy. Olive was so outraged, mortally wounded, hysterical, couldn't believe it, right? And so when we're trying to talk to the girls to be able to kind of, stop World War III happening within our home, it was like, well, Olive, we understand that your feelings are really hurt, but can we hear the intentions for Ivy? Did you want to hurt Olive, Ivy? And then Ivy was completely oblivious to, oh gosh, no, first of all, who should be so reactive over a lunchbox? Obviously 6-year-olds, but it was trying to find out the intentions and integrity behind being those prickly cactuses, basically, is what I'm trying to mansplain to you today. So there's that. So much is going on behind the scenes. I think there's going to be something you should be looking forward to next week. No, not the shift. Or not. Maybe I'm lying to you. So maybe get some interns and some sessions. They are free. So yeah, very cool. So there's that. There was something else that I felt like they wanted me to explore, just to give you a sort of sense of a new perspective. So I'm just trying to figure out what that is, because it's been such a busy few days. So hang on, I'm just going to pause myself and just remember what it is. In the last 24 hours, I've had 3 clients, and all of them have had the same consistent things. You know who you are, and I love you, but I'm going to share this information with you all just so you can hear what's going on in terms of physical bodies, right? So this is my right shoulder. So I don't know whether it's mirrored or not, but it is, trust me. So right shoulder. So anyone now feeling into your bodies, how does your right shoulder feel? Painful, whatever, right? Last 3 clients all had very painful right shoulders. And so why? I mean, it's very curious, right? Of course, the subconscious did the same things, which was they're putting the responsibilities and the weight of people right now in their lives right now all onto them. So, the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's not a shits and giggles statement for nothing, my friends. It's a metaphysical reference to drop everything that no longer serves you, know what's your responsibility and know what's not your responsibility. And, that would be fantastic. So what is truly holding you down? Is it responsibilities that you feel like you need to be awakening everyone, doing everyone's inner work, being that everything for everyone and forgetting yourself? And so again, learn and notice and stop our routines just to check, are we enabling people accidentally? Could we just step back and give them some, I wonder if you approach things this way, this may help, rather than just doing it for them, right? I know so many times it's easier for us to actually do stuff for other people than waiting for them to do it for themselves, right? So we want to get the stuff done fast, and it's easier for us, we think, by doing everything for everyone that will help them. No, it just teaches them to be lazy. And it doesn't empower them to be able to know they're very, very, very capable of doing all these things themselves. Then you feel selfish, right? You go through this full phase of learning the difference between empowering people and disabling people, you go through this phase when you used to give everything to everyone, when you suddenly realize you want to empower them by not enabling them with you doing everything for them. It feels hideous because you feel like suddenly you're being this real selfish cow and you're not doing everything for them. And they're used to it. They're used to you giving them everything. And so while we could, and that's a choice, really inspire them to be motivated to do their own inner work and to do things for themselves, and for you to start using your time for more things for you, to be able to not be so dragged down. Let's just go really crass here and talk about energy vampires, right? They will leech onto you forever and a day until you're a dry husk of a person of a shell, right? Those friends are fucking fantastic, right? And we will endure those friendships until we empower ourselves and realize, yeah, that's a draining so-and-so. And so we don't need to let them drain us. They're very capable of doing their own stuff. But when they realize they can get stuff from us, because we love to give, then they will not ever do anything for themselves. And they will just keep running to us for whatever drama it is that day. And so when we sort of realize that we don't deserve that kind of stuff, like there are some genuine problems and people genuinely do need some support and love, but it's when those people are looping and need to tell you for the 14th, 100th time this week about their most painful divorce and blah, 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 blah. They are looping and we are encouraging them to keep looping and looping and looping. And sometimes we need to, be able to find some really great empowering words to be able to stop them from looping and all of that stuff. So are we bold enough to step aside and stop those energy vampires draining us, and know our boundaries and our love and all that sort of stuff? Because often it's our silent friends that are struggling the most versus those big divas who are very loud and squeaky and all that sort of stuff, right? They get lots of attention. Energy vampires usually demand a lot of attention. So we all know who they are, right? So, and that's a choice. And energy vampires will only be able to be energy vampires if you allow them to be. So once they realize that you're sort of cutting them off energetically or attention wise, they'll make a big scene and drama about it, make you feel like a whole lot of shit while they sort of, remove their clench from you. So, remember you are protected, you remember you are safe. And I'm not talking about like physical vampires, but, energy vampires, they can get away with a lot of stuff. So remember, we can ask for anything and our teams are listening constantly. And they want us to be able to ask for things like, can you balance and heal my body? As you're going to sleep, just ask them, please balance and heal my body. Please be able to give me the epiphanies that I need to be able to understand this relationship or what we're supposed to do with each other and blah, 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 blah. And, just keep asking, because so many people are telling me I'm writing questions for my sessions, Jo, and I'm getting all these epiphanies and I don't even know if I've got any questions anymore. But I'm going to ask some of this bigger, serious stuff just because I'm still a little bit nervous. My intuition may be a little bit off. Honest, who hasn't doubted their intuition before in their lifetimes? I think everyone has doubted their intuition, right? And as we get stronger and stronger and stronger and knowing the difference between our egos versus our subconscious and higher selves and blah, 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 all that fantastic stuff, we start paying attention and applying it. The frustrating thing is when we have great intuition, but we doubt it, then we don't apply it. So could we, just as for shits and giggles, as a group exercise, could we stop doubt just for a day, see how it feels? No peer pressure or anything. Okay, I think I've rabbited on enough, but exciting times, absolutely exciting times. And we deserve exciting times, right? And as we keep our frequency vibrations up, as we keep our music in our backgrounds to know that we can use this music to empower ourselves, to lift up our moods, make us sing and dance while we're doing our housekeeping or blah, 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 that gives us joy. Please remember, it is so important to empower yourselves with the love. I can't tell you how many times I have clients who still haven't really realized that when our team say, love yourselves, they're not joking. truly, honestly take the time to love yourself. For whoever is saying, well, does masturbation count? Yes, potentially, right? I guess you're paying attention to self. You're definitely self-serving, but I don't think that's always what they're meaning when they say love yourselves and be of service to self, or maybe not. I don't know. You know, I'm blocked and limited in this conversation now because I'm such a prude. So, you know, there's that. Okay, so homework for today would be just reviewing those prickly cactuses and stop reacting to them, because you didn't originally hurt them, but you're here to love them and you're here to empower them and to not be allergic to them anymore. Everyone in your life is incredibly significant, and we always get opportunities to empower ourselves and love unconditionally, as we're all working together to raise our frequency for the vibrations of this planet and for humanity at this important time. Sounds familiar, right? It's the same information over and over again because it's true. So why not start applying it today? Bye, guys. Love you.